those balloon guys. What are you
Yeah, I was
doing
gonna
up
say,
there?
who here's got ranged items? They're good source of souls. We should well, I've
Yeah, I
some
can
throwing
get them.
knives.
All right.
Oh, cool.
We are running from the crystalline woods up to the map piece. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we're making a quick detour for balloon. Boys.
yeah, just going for the balloons to get some stuff. Oh, we can also do the rise here to get some stuff. The other reason why I want to go to the manor early is for myself, because we've been putting off my shit for long enough. I need carry and retaliation if I'm going to be parrying stuff. But the interesting thing about playtesting and numbers, so we were talking about scaling, right? And this idea of like what the target audience is, and if it's like Americans that might not like numbers. But actually, so after completing the DLC, I've been watching a lot of Japanese players go through it, because I wanted to watch how other people were approaching the game, and almost uniformly, Japanese players approach this series fundamentally differently from the West in a way that's really interesting.
Wait.
So
You're doing Monster Hunter? Like,
no, not exactly. It's more like the kinds of optimizations that we do, where we make very pointed builds, even casually, is not super common among the Japanese player base. Basically, every single Japanese player that I watch has like uniformly level stats across the board. They will level up.
Do the rise while we're here.
They don't min-max.
They don't min-max, and they play the game like it's an immersive sim, which is like obviously makes sense for what it is, but you will see much more creative play on behalf of like just random interactions for Japanese players than you will in the West, where we tend to view our character and their build as like the monitor for how we are to play the game. In Japan, it's very much like, oh, this boss is hitting me. They do really big damage. I should wear heavy armor. Oh, this boss is weak to fire. I will throw pots at it. Period. And it's very much like that. Or they'll like swap out their spells every single bonfire they sit at. It's very interesting, and I think it has an origin in like computer RPGs that are really popular in Japan. That this game has like a similar legacy to, where it's like they're very heavily influenced by the way that you approach a game like Wizardry, where like, hey, this is an encounter that has a like item that you are straight up supposed to use to beat it, so here is how we'll do it. Or like, you're fighting against the big knight guy, he does lots of physical damage, time to up your physical damage negation, even if it means you're not going to roll in this fight. Like, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting way to play in comparison to
They play the way I do when I get desperate against fights.
Yes, uniformly, which is neat.
Like I went through an era of trying to Havel through Millennia.
Yeah.
I tried to go ultimate tank. I was so disappointed when I went ultimate tank mode, only to realize that even if you have 100% block, she still gets life leech off of the no damage she did.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's cheating. Come on, man.
That invalidated my entire build.
Yeah, I was like, that should have worked better. You should
it's
not
very
be
lazy.
healing off
Like...
of non-damaging hits.
So there are 3 beasts. One of them is on a wall somewhere. One of them is in a little pool.
I killed one of them.
Okay.
Oh, so we're good then, because I got the last one. This one's up in a tree over here.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, there's one that's just like flying, isn't it?
Here, this one's just up in a tree, but and there was one like kind of off to the side on the cliff, but yeah, floating one's not here.
Demi says, you're telling me most other Western players stick to rigid builds instead of valuing versatility. Even more so than just rigid builds, it's just that I think that we all focus on like playing.
I made a build, and that's this character's personality.
Yes.
This playthrough, and this is what you're at most like variating on, like how I always talk about my character in terms of Dex Faith, as if that's an immovable thing, even though. Yeah, I literally respect to re-optimize my Dex Faith build as opposed to like be a different build.
Yeah, exactly. So like, for example, when we're playing the game and when we encounter, like in the West, we'll be like, oh, I'm playing a spear guy. I'm going to use spears. I have Dex Faith. Like, that's what I'm going to do. In Japan, it's much different, where it's like, oh, this spear is good for this encounter, but for this encounter, I'll use a straight sword. And like, I think that speaks to a lot of the design theory behind the game of this This is a very open game that is not afraid to ask, or that it isn't afraid to ask you to do very specific things. And like, so certain enemies take different damage from different damage types. I think a lot of Western players will just be like, yeah, well, I don't need the extra 10% damage, against this enemy that I would get from using like a mace against a skeleton, right? Like I can still kill a skeleton with a katana.
I'll
Literally,
just be bad against this enemy.
Yeah, I'll just be bad against this enemy. Literally every single Japanese player I watched this weekend, and I watched probably 40 or 50 streams, every single one of them switched their weapons almost every encounter.
It kind of reminds me of the lineage of like Dragon Quest, where your main character is the hero that can do everything. They can do magic, they can do swords.
Yep.
Just not as good as the specialized.
Yes, very much so. We're gonna go up through
alien
here.
to me.
Yeah, might as well clear up.
My ultra hot
drone
take
rooms.
recently while playing the DLC was that I'm like, FromSoftware games should get rid of upgrade items.
Yeah.
I have
Just
give me a
fully
cool new
internalize
toy.
your upgrade system into your character himself, and go
Don't
even
make
further
me
than
go
Lies of
grind to see if
P.
the toy is worth using.
Yeah. This whole system
Yeah.
where you get a weapon and you have to cross-compare it, but you have to do it on a wiki via a table because you can't tell how strong it's going to be after all the upgrades, and the game won't tell you in any functional way, so you need to spend all the upgrades or check online. And then you get to test run it for a few times, and then maybe it's not good, but now you've lost all those resources, and it's just like the opportunity cost that's involved in just the act of wanting to test out the fun rewards you're getting everywhere feels like it feels like vestigial and unnecessary.
Yeah, I think
like
that makes sense.
They could just have the game have augments, like, oh, now I'm gonna try making it a poison sword, but don't get rid of Titanite and whatnot. Like, who needs that?
Do we
Only
want
great
to go?
weapons.
Do we
It
want to
just
go
makes
down
you
the hill?
afraid to try any of your rewards.
What are you saying,
There's
Illusory?
If we go down the hill, there's like that tier item we could grab.
Oh yeah, we can go do that real quick.
So if you go like back through the ruins and then drop off a cliff where it's not too high.
Yeah, I like these ruins because you get the little ghost that's like, e.g., you left this place to us and we weren't able to defend it, but it's all just kind of a lie because E.G.'s right there behind the wall and there's an illusory wall. And what would they be defending if it was just a dead end like it looks like? It's clever. It's a clever, cute little thing that they did there. Anyway, where's the thingy? I wish we could put fucking map markers back up.
I know.
Irritating that we
can
can't.
you see,
I'm coming to you. Yeah, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't even remember what item it is, but
One thing I
It's something
appreciate
for your
about the
class.
DLC is far fewer beetles.
far fewer beetles, so many fewer, and they're all around a really specific set of locations, and it tells you that they're close by, which I really liked. Fucking finger creepers. I have
Yep.
so many
Do I
fucking
even
things to
remember
say.
a beetle? I don't even know.
Fire.
There are like 4 or 5 sets of them, but they're only around forges in the DLC.
I hate these hands so much. They're so upsetting.
I have so many things to say about the fucking finger creepers. These are my number one biggest frustration in the video game right now. I have so much to say about finger creepers. I'm not joking. Over the course of the past week and a half, I have lost sleep over these enemies.
Why?
I have too, but for different reasons.
I don't want to.
Intelligence not, so not even gonna use it. But
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, so I'm not going to talk
lore
about them.
reasons.
But it's for lore reasons. It's for lore reasons that really drive me insane. They are the biggest open question. They're the biggest. This is the one part that the DLC makes me question things in a way that I was not questioning before. That is just like fully, deeply like, I don't have answers. I thought I had answers. I don't. I'm sorry. I have no fucking idea. I have no fucking clue.
Whose hands are these?
Yeah. Yes. The thing is that I know the answer to that, and the answer is very confusing.
They're mine. But
Well,
how
you've
am I
been
playing
getting
the
a lot
game?
of slap on the wrists.
I think FromSoft is really interesting. In that their DLCs often are. I don't think that FromSoft makes DLCs in response to fans, but I do think that the DLCs often circle the drain on like lingering topics that fans will fixate on, and thus all of their DLCs in the past have been very satisfying with the answers that they provide, because they're very, like, we're all very clued in on the questions that have been asked.
Yeah.
This
It's like
DLC,
how people were saying that this DLC would be about Mikola like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly, and it is, and that's very true. And I think everyone got what they wanted out of that. But the thing is that we all thought we understood Fingercreepers, and boy, were we fucking wrong about that. And that's the thing about them that keeps me up at night. Anyway, let's talk to EG.
Well, look at you. We don't receive many visitors. I presume you are tarnished? What brings you here? Oh, pardon me. It's hardly my place to ask, is it? I am E.G., a blacksmith who once served the Carian royals. An old codger who refuses to retire his rusty hammer. So here I am, still quietly plying my trade on this spot. Perhaps you'd like a display? These bones are old, but still able.
All right. Now we have the option to say, please take care.
Oh, watch out there. When I'm absorbed in my smithing, I lose sight of all else. If you come too close, I'm apt to cause you harm. I am, after all, terribly large compared to you, Tarnished. You don't know how hard it is not to break anything while I work. Brave Tarnished. A word of warning, if you please. This territory once belonged to the Carian royal family. Their manor lies not far beyond this point. When the Raya Lucari Academy turned on the Carians, the Knights of the Cuckoo descended on this tract. After leveling it, they carried on to the manor. The Carians were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the Knights' onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day. That is why I say, Tarnished, don't go near the manor, unless you wish to lie with the corpses of the heedless Knights of the Cuckoo.
I like this lore about the Knights of the Cuckoo because it shows that the Liurnian civil war was really brutal and intense, and this is what happens when you create a nation that's based all around magic and magical nukes basically, and then make them fight each other because they don't agree about anything.
Blythe actually did that.
Magic nukes.
Quite a rare occurrence for such a guarded soul as he. Perhaps he sensed something unusual about you. At any rate, if you're friendly with Blythe, I've something else that might suit you. I've explained the peril of the enchanted snare that remains at the Royal Carian Manor. Whatever you do, brave Tarnished, stay away from that death trap. Whatever you...
Right. He sells a Carian filigreed crest if you tell him about Blythe, which is really useful. It's a very, very powerful talisman.
Lowers FP consumed by skills. If I had any. No.
All right. We can make a detour to Carian Manor.
Let's do it. We were talking before about it's hard to do it before.
Why'd they shoot me?
But no, there's something. If we clear this area too, there's something very good immediately after it.
Yeah.
That attack went all the way back to me at EG.
The one thing I am concerned about is talking to Ronnie before doing Renala, because I don't know if it impacts that quest line.
Yeah, we don't have to talk to her yet. Yeah. We'll avoid that then.
Yeah. The resting place of the contemptible cuckoos, lost in the siege of Carian Manor, is just the lore out front. So they did not pass through. Boy, fucking Fingercreepers. This is going to be so weird and unique. I cannot wait to try and put together what the fuck any of this means now. This is literally my worst nightmare. This is actually my worst nightmare in terms of lore stuff.
You're stuck looking at and thinking about these guys now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I will not talk about like the things that are introduced in the DLC that make this very confusing. But I will say for I just watched him walk right into that. Finger creepers are an aspect of this game that I think a year ago or even 3 weeks ago, if you asked all the lore hounds and all of the people that pay attention to the game, like, these have been discoursed to death. People knew, quote unquote, knew pretty much everything that the base game allowed you to surmise about these beings. And as a result, we were like, we understand it. We don't have as many questions. Like, there's a lot of lingering openness and like we don't know for sure about them. But here are some like ideas that we can cross out at least. And then
I feel like I know nothing about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I kind of know where they came from.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. So, long story short, the DLC introduces a concept that fundamentally is not just the opposite of what we thought. It is literally just something that we had written off completely and were 100% certain was not the case. Now is actually the case.
Precisely.
It is precisely what one of the aspects that gets introduced is. So it's just like, okay, wow, this is one of the few times where we were truly wrong and misled, which is very interesting.
God damn it, are you kidding me?
You gotta watch out for those nails.
Right?
You can see them all in advance.
Finger creepers are so fucking weird. They're so weird.
I hate them. I hate them so much. Oh god.
It's always just funny how many fingers they have. I love it.
No, it's so awful. I hate
the way that they itch themselves. I love that animation so much.
The itching is really fun. The fact, one of the weirdest things about them is this is just a weird thing I noticed when I was playing the fucking DLC. There are some finger creepers in the DLC that don't wear rings.
I attacked it.
So there are finger creepers that don't wear rings, but if you visceral them, the rings appear on their model. I don't know why that is the case, and I don't... Like, I have so many questions about where the rings come from. Like, I need to know. I need to know where the rings come from.
Bug.
That's just a bug.
That is just a bug. But what I'm saying... What I'm saying is the the presence of rings on these creatures implies something about their physiology, which is either they were part of a bigger thing once that could put a ring on its fingers, or someone put rings on them. And
we got a connection error.
Oh no. I'm gonna banish everyone so that we can all reconnect. But I don't think that's the case anymore. I think rings might be a part of their physiology, which is extremely strange.
They're like little hats.
They just grow
fingers.
them.
Yeah. Literally, though.
It's like whenever I stare at a Shoko for too long, trying to figure out how her head works.
Well, oysters can grow pearls, so they're just doing that with a different kind of gem and a little heart.
Yes, but isn't that even weirder? Isn't that weird?
Why? Is it?
Isn't that weird?
It is. That would be extremely.
I mean,
it's already inherently weird that it's a severed arm.
I think it's very funny because it's one of the least weird
end
things in
on
the
it.
Elden Ring world.
Yes, Keith. Yes, it is really weird when you see that they are a severed hand with a gore arm. You want to know what else is really weird? When you see one of them get born and it is born with the gore sever on it. I don't understand what these things are. It's very weird. It is very weird.
Because it inherently felt like they must have been some kind of like... Because I always assumed that they were like a Rhea Lucaria or whatever the fuck, experiment mistake.
For a very long time, people thought that the finger creepers, because they're in the inverted
magic hand spell.
It's a wall master. It's a wall master from Zelda. They summon them. You know, like people thought this. People also tried to figure out like, okay, maybe Rykard made them. Maybe they were attacking the Carians. It's like unclear what the fuck these things are and why there's so many here. And I can tell very definitively everything we thought was wrong, which is just insane.
I could have imagined them like growing on trees like a bunch of bananas and just falling off.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
I figured that they might have been related to the 2 and 3 fingers because that just seems like an obvious connection to draw.
The thing about them that's interesting is that they don't look anything like the 2 or 3 fingers, and in fact, we have seen the full body.
Yeah, but they just are weird, gross, hairy hands.
They aren't hairy, or they're not hairy in the same
trees.
way as the fingers, I should say, because the fingers have really specific hair. These don't, which is weird.
Yeah, but that just raised the question of whether or not they're like a genetic offshoot or a byproduct of the fingers, or if they're an attempt to replicate the fingers.
Yes. That makes sense
it'd be
completely,
weird
right?
to have another hand that's unrelated to the other hands.
Yes, but that's also one of the weird things about the 2 fingers and the 3 fingers that we know, is that the fingers are not literally hands. They're called fingers because they look passingly weirdly like fingers, but we know what the fingers look like when they stand up, which is not a hand.
They look like the things from Arrival.
Yes, they do.
They're just X chromosomes.
They're just weird. They are weird X's. Oh, sorry, I mindlessly
You
sat.
saved us.
Oh, okay, good.
He's back.
You would, there's so much stuff to talk about fingers. Fingers lore is now the weirdest part of this game, period. And Fingercreepers especially.
No!
Like, everything that deals with hands in this game is fucking bizarre. I truly don't have an answer about any of it. I have no idea. It is a huge shrug from me.
One day, someone will make a video essay about it.
I pray someone will...
They've probably already started making it if they haven't made it already.
Well...
Had to restart.
It's very funny because I was sitting on Quaylog's stream the other day and I was talking to her and I was like, my biggest open question is what the fuck fingers? And she literally was like, yeah, I truly don't have a spot to go to with this. We're back at ground zero with them, which is interesting. Like, specifically Fingercreepers. It's just so weird.
I look forward to all the retractions that the lore videos made this week will have.
Yeah, there will be a lot made this week. I was actually watching a few of the lore videos that were just put out by like no-namers, for lack of a better word, like really small channels. And like there is like a proliferation of like a lot of lore videos that people are rushing to make to capitalize on the DLC that like just are wrong, and like not even wrong in like a super obscure lore nerd way, but in a like, oh, the person who made this video has not finished the DLC yet, so they made a video about something that is not ready to be made about.
No, the content farm never stops.
Exactly.
But I just mean in terms of like, also like, just that's the primary thing that characterized most of the the Elden Ring videos in the first wave, was that like,
Yeah.
even from all the big channels, they were constantly then making additional videos that were retracting things
Yes.
they claimed in other videos.
Yeah, completely.
'Cause there's just too much fucking game.
There's so much to sift through. Yeah. It's just interesting because I feel like as a community, I mean, on our last session, Illusory and I talked about this, is like the Souls community is pretty good about creating resources to come together and like, if not answer every question, like solve what we can solve, right? And I'm not used to being taken by surprise so heavily by new revelations like this, especially in light of like the DLC, for example, being the DLC is what people thought it was going to be about. Like it is about Mikola. Like that is what it is. So it's in the way we accessed it was the way that we all thought you would access it. And like, you know, like everything about it was so known. So getting crazy, weird left field stuff that makes us completely recontextualize everything we knew from before is exciting, even if it keeps me up at night and stresses me the fuck out.
I still haven't.
I was raising a finger.
I still don't know what like plane of reality to think the DLC even occurs in.
Shadow Realm.
Banished to the Shadow Realm.
I know what the place is called. I just don't know what it functionally means.
I think
Shadow Realm.
I think it is a non-Euclidean space in the center of the lands between. That is my best explanation for it, because there is a lot of evidence.
It's like trying to make sense of whether or not stuff is like.
It is not a
like
dream.
An afterlife or anything.
It's not
It's
a
the tree dream.
and it's not an afterlife. It is a place where death is banished to, which is interesting.
Because you go there to follow a dead person, but also all the people that were there with you, like people follow you there too. Like you just go in together to this place that seems like it maybe people from the other world shouldn't be in or something.
Yes. So this ghost here says that he's waiting for Lady Ronnie and that they're waiting for their house's revival, just as a heads up, which is interesting because obviously we know that Rena is Ronnie, but if you were just playing the game for the first time, you would not know that Ronnie is alive. Ronnie died. So
he is freaking out on my screen.
Interesting. So
there's a guy over here.
As far as I can tell from the DLC, there is a lot of evidence that the Lands of Shadow are a literal physical place that exists. But the thing is that access to it and like the visibility of it is not possible by most people. And we learn in the DLC through a line of dialogue that Mohg's body specifically was needed to get there. Mohg opened the way. And we don't have a lot to go off of on why that is. My best surmise is that because he is inflicted with horns, and he has the quote-unquote omen curse, he is able to like open a door to get there. But the best way to think of it is it's like the lighthouse from Cape Escape. Some people can see it and some people can't.
For me, there's definitely an element there of like even trying to backtrack the idea of like, okay, how did you all get here?
Yeah.
Characters. Did you all get here because you also defeated Mohg in your separate Dark Souls world, or specifically you got here past Mohg's death when I killed him?
Yeah.
You all needed me to kill Mohg
that is
specifically,
correct.
or this
That
whole
is
story
correct.
can't
That
happen?
is what happens.
That is correct. Yeah.
Because
it seems a little clearer with Letta since you talked to her before you go in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest things about how the DLC is implemented is that, as far as I can tell, if you buy the DLC but you play the game surrounding it for the first time, you beat Mohg and then she just materializes.
Yes.
With
so
no prior context. And
so
she's just there.
Part of it is, so the best way to think of it is all of Miquella's followers and Miquella go to the Land of Shadow while you're resting at the bonfire after beating Mohg.
Yeah, that's
that is what happens. That is canonically what happens.
It's just extremely funny.
It
You're
is.
like, wait, what?
It is, but you know, that's people appear when you rest at a bonfire. It's an abstraction, you know. I'm out of rune arcs. I wanted my.
We just got one.
It makes me sit here and wonder that as your immortal character, you're like, how many hundreds of years are passing in this narrative while I'm just trying to beat one boss?
Well, actually, that's
resting, and it seems to take a long
yeah.
time.
Well, actually, that is something that's true. When you die and respawn, that's because you're tarnished. Your soul doesn't return to the Erd Tree. The reason why everything respawns when you die is because a lot of time has passed. That's just that's how long it takes for your body to reassemble at a site of grace. And that's also maintained by the fact that when you die, time actually passes in game. You get like it's night, it's day, blah blah blah. So
the game is wild.
It is wild. It's crazy. It's wild and crazy. I love the DLC. It makes me very sad. Everything about it makes me sad. I can't talk about it without getting sad. I joked in the Discord, I was like, I can't wait to play the DLC with my friends because I'm going to cry in front of them. There is a very strong chance that when we get to the DLC, I'm going to get emotional during parts of it.
And then you have to spend 3 hours explaining what happened.
Yeah, to you people. You people don't understand art.
I just didn't spend all 3 years immersing myself just in this game nonstop. So I don't know what's happening.
I got caught. I just tried to get caught back up. Do we want to go? The Arumi's over here. Like we need to. There's other places to go to if we want to get the stuff we're looking for.
To the drop down.
Yeah. Do we want to do the drop down here?
Yeah, because that's where the Arumi is. The Arumi is on that ledge over there. There's an abductor virgin and some Fingercreepers, so be very careful.
Well, I mean, this is the way to get down there.
Yeah, this is the way to get down there.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wahoo.
But yeah,
I don't remember what it is.
I am.
It is Golden Room.
Yeah. I am very cautious about spoiling big stuff for the DLC, which is why I haven't been talking deeply about like the specific events that make me very emotional. But there are a lot of them, and they made me very sad on stream. After one of my episodes while we were playing, I literally was like, "Chat, I needed like 30 minutes. I'm sad. I can't like keep doing this right now." There's a really, really potent metaphor for like depression and suicide in the DLC that's like genuinely hard hitting. That is very depressing and sad. That I really liked a lot, and very good.
I think I've been there. Rumi.
Here you go, Keith. Leave. Here's a second Arumi. You can use 2 of them.
Does anyone have lightning attacks? I know Ka has some.
Yeah.
Do you want to kill this virgin abductor? I don't remember if it guards
Double
anything.
Rumi. And it does have higher. I don't have enough strength to wield this weapon.
Wow. Did you pick up the one? Okay, there you go. I have lightning grease. I can grease my dagger.
I can Nora Zoro these Arumis. That I don't have the strength to use.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I need to go get one more strength at the bonfire.
I should really focus on using grease if I'm going to do them as Aracord. That would be really fun. Oh, this is going to be a cool build! I like it. I like it. I should
remember what's here.
be trying to parry.
It's just Somber Smithing Stone.
Yeah.
Well, we have to run all the way back up, but that's okay.
There is a we could teleport there, because
it's just teleport back to the manor lower level.
And then we can get the Sword of Night and Flame as well, I think, because it's right around here, which will be useful for Ka, because it's Ka. Are you doing Omnicasting? No.
No, just
no. Then it won't be useful for you. Sorry.
No.
Get wrecked, Ka.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something I talked about in a previous stream was having like somewhat mixed feelings about the level design here. Because I like being able to explore and find stuff on side paths like this, but it's kind of what we just experienced, right? Like we drop down, so we'd have to run past all the enemies we just killed, or warp back here, and then it's kind of egregious. There's like another run back we can do to the site of grace we were just at.
Yeah.
There's an NPC above. Up in the upper level of that room,
and there's no teleport.
Ladder. There's no ladder to drop down, and it's like that is the most FromSoftware thing to do. Is like if you unlocked this like loop around path, there should be like you should be able to warp to that site of grace to meet that NPC instead of running all the way around.
Yeah, completely. I agree.
That's the one thing. Like my biggest complaint of this level is like it just needs one ladder added to it.
Yeah,
like,
it just needs one ladder, exactly. I love the traps on the ground here as well. You might not notice them as we run by because we're kind of just running, but if you look at the ground, there are daggers stabbed into the area, and if you cross over the daggers, that's where all the traps are. So
I fell.
Ka. It said Ka has died, even though your name is Rotward and Opa. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, it does say Ka.
Oh, is it Steed name?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting that these are sword whips, but not in the normal way. They're just flaccid swords.
They're based on a real weapon that exists in real life. It's an Indian weapon, like from India.
I feel like I've seen someone use that in a fighting game.
I'm sure there have
like
been.
the Urumi specifically, and not a sword whip.
Yes, yes, the Irumi.
Not like Soul Calibur Ivy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The asp coil.
So this weapon's right trigger charges up to do a stab, which is wild.
Oh, miss.
Oh,
that's such a good weapon.
Indivisible.
Oh,
Indivisible,
yeah.
one of the dudes uses an Urumi.
That game has a lot of like Indian subcontinent stuff, doesn't it?
So fucking cool, but the end game is not very good.
That's what I heard.
That's the game where you have like 4 party members set to separate buttons.
Yeah, it's
They're
a Valkyrie profile.
Inside of you or something.
Valkyrie profile, spiritual successor.
I did a let's try of that all the way back in like 2014.
Oh, wow.
I know someone who
1
did
million
animation
years
work
ago.
on that game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Again?
Ka, yeah, get your act together, Ka.
Get it together, gosh.
Wait, did we want to do the other drop down that's over here? If we back on the other side? There's a roof you can
I just
drop
want to
onto.
survive
what
these
items are there.
hands.
I did this. I got the Sword of Night and Flame. Is that what you're talking about or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got to meet some animators this
God
weekend that worked
damn,
on
this guy's
them's fight
fucking me
nerds.
up.
Oh, that's
Get me
fun.
away.
And we're also done on Gameaverse.
That's cool.
Oh, I cannot run from this guy. Why are there so many fucking hands?
I'm trying to get far enough away from Andrew so that I can teleport.
Fall off the ledge.
Nice.
Wow,
kick.
what the fuck?
I'm dueling unupgraded Urumis, so I needed that kick. I'm basically slap fighting people because I haven't upgraded these yet.
Here we go.
When we get to the next site of Grace up ahead, that might be a good spot to warp.
Yes.
We can rest there while you go upgrade them.
And I go cram some crystals in these. Hopefully they're somber, otherwise I probably don't have the resources.
The Arumi is regular. It's not somber. You'll have to buy the things. I need to learn the parry timing on these guys because I actually don't know this enemy's parry timing. There we go. Got it. I think parries are timed to me because there's no ping when I do it. So.
Where am I?
I like this game so much. I like this game so very much.
Well, 3 of us are here.
I'm coming. I'm
well,
right
yeah,
behind you.
4th. I'm nowhere near, so don't expect me.
Did you die and spawn like way back or something?
Nope, just followed Toaster onto the ground, and then a lot of hands came out, and then I went a different direction.
So the sword.
I missed.
Oh.
I missed when the split up happened.
Yeah, I just hopped over to the roof that had the Sword of Night and Flame on it. And it says, storied sword and treasure of Caria Manor, one of the legendary armaments. Astrologers who preceded the sorcerers established themselves in the mountaintops that nearly touched the sky and considered the fire giants their neighbors. Hold the sword level and prepare to cast a sorcery. Follow up with a normal attack to cast Night Comet, or a strong attack to sweep forward with a burst of flames. So this is the paired weapon that pairs with Rolana's twin swords from the DLC. Or it's an unpaired weapon. Sorry, I mean that goes along with it.
Oh, I might have went the wrong way. Hold on.
I don't. I guess
we can just go to the next site of Grace and activate it for Andrew to warp to.
It's true.
That would be nice.
Yeah, we are like very close to it. So
I don't think it's no fun. Neither of you two are parryable. I need a Lucery to swing at me so I can parry him.
If you want to be able to parry your teammates.
You can. You can parry friendly people. I think. I thought there.
You?
Yeah, I thought there was a interaction.
In Dark Souls 1 you can.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
That would be really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can parry friendly phantom like troll co-op players will personally go in and then try to parry the host as much like while they're attacking enemies to fuck them up.
There we go. Let me.
So actually, this part,
just mashing it wouldn't let me.
This part here has a crazy glitch that's really interesting. Illusory, do you know about this?
I'm not sure.
With the summoning pool.
I don't think I know it.
Okay, so I don't think we can trigger it. I'll try to trigger it right now, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Here we go. Like this. It didn't work. It didn't work. If the wolf jumps on top of you while you're touching the summoning pool, it pushes you underneath the level collision, and it allows you to walk around underneath everything.
I was gonna say, yeah, you'd probably wind up underneath the structure, but I would expect there to be collision for the ground. So
you go underneath here, and you can see a bunch of messages written that are like, "Hey, look, how'd you get down here? What a great secret!" Yeah, it's awesome. But
it's be a bug.
Yeah, it's really hard though because you can only do it on the first, obviously on the first time.
Yeah.
So, nothing you can do, unfortunately.
I now have 2 level 7s.
Excellent.
Do we want to do the scaling the mountain part of this or no? Oh, we have to do it from somewhere else. Never mind. I forgot. I thought it was right here. We have to do it from up top anyway.
Yeah. I whoopsie doodled spent all of my upgrade materials like 10 minutes ago. Womp womp.
Why is that a wolf?
Oh,
what did you do?
It's the weirdly realistic wolves.
Oh my god, this wolf.
Alright.
No chance.
Man, I cannot wait until I get my respec and I'm gonna build a really wacky ass build, I think. I think I'm gonna do a crazy build. I think I'm gonna carry in grandeur. Oh. I'm gonna do like a swordless swordsman style carry in grandeur posture break build, I think. Come on. Oh, you're not going to hit me, so I can't parry you. It's fine. Little baby. Oh, did he drop a noble slender sword? No, just a Roa fruit. So I've been watching Andrew stream the DLC. My controller, why do you keep disconnecting and dying? Steam input popped up for a second. Wow, my controller just don't work.
Oh! Oh! Fuck did you come? Ah, stop.
Hold on, I got it. Oh no.
Playing on mouse and keyboard could be weird.
Mage giants, that's illegal. Ow.
Ooh, ouchie. It would be good to know what buttons do what. Okay, so that's my parry button.
We can't even crit him.
Oh,
Easy's toast.
We don't need crits. Ah! Bonus mage.
We don't have to worry about it right now, but I think the scaling might be too easy. Like before, it was kind of like crazy how much everything was ultra tanky, but now everything's like very easy. I feel like.
Yeah, I think it went from 135 to 35.
Oh wow.
Per player.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll want to up it a bit because we are just like shredding like.
Yeah. Let's we can fix that in a bit. If we don't want it to be this session, we can do it for next one. But let's see. I need to like really fucking reset my. I gotta reset my controls, guys. This is really bad.
Yeah, no, because with the previous scaling we had, we would not have destroyed that giant.
Your controls are breaking or something?
My controller stopped working, so I have to
But
remap.
You need the controller to control.
I need to remap my controls basically so that I can play on mouse and keyboard properly. Enemy health is for sure scaled up. It's
yeah.
Because these guys do not have 2100 health in the base game. I think the thing is the scaling just decreased from what we had it at. So
yes,
we will need to we'll just want to look at that. Where do I get my weapon art that I really want?
It's also possible that they just removed resistance scaling, so we're only seeing the health scaling now.
That's also very possible. Illusory, do you remember where you get carry-in retaliation? That's what I'm looking for right now.
Ooh, I'm forgetting off the top of my head.
Because it is here somewhere, but I don't know where.
Is it?
I don't remember if it's the reward for Loretta or not. So.
I don't remember.
Oh fuck! I died.
Oh
no, I didn't.
Oh,
I
survived. Holy shit!
I have so little health. Oh fuck!
I was trying to maneuver around Andrew, who's standing on the gap.
Oh,
sorry, I was trying to look down at Toaster that was jumping off.
He's down there.
Ooh! My muscle memory's all fucked.
Nice. Okay.
I'm coming to join you.
Illusory's got this. Nice.
The idea of playing Souls games with keyboard and mouse is so upsetting to me.
You gotta remember your muscles.
Otherwise, they fall off.
There we go. I cannot backstab these guys, so it does not matter.
No.
Yeah. Oof! Ouch. I do so little damage.
We can knock them down though.
I'm such a little damage boy. My damage is so little and small. And I don't deal status anymore with this weapon, so it's kind of bad for that.
So what's even the point? Crackpot.
Very good.
No, you're a crackpot.
Chat says the carry and retaliation is sold by Pydia.
Oh, it's sold by Pydia. Then yes, we do need to do this. Yeah.
Yep.
I will. Well, then we'll do this, and this is not waste time.
The name Pydia.
You probably never met him in your playthrough.
Oh.
I pity ya.
He's a weirdo. He's like Seleuvis's apprentice, kind of. Is like the. Yeah. He's a weirdo. He's a doll freak. He loves dolls.
Good for him.
So like every
is he the guy that's laying on the ground?
What?
Is he the guy that's laying on the ground?
Yes, I think so. He's on the second floor of the lower level of the manor that you can't reach from that fireplace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I met that guy.
There's a guy that's like upstairs from the grace.
Yes.
That you.
Yeah, you have to drop down.
He never stands up.
Yeah, he's a weird pervert. He's a weird pervert.
I can relate.
Illusory's just yeeting these guys. There we go.
Yeah, what the hell?
Awesome.
I'm doing nothing. Oh!
Big friend? Large friend? Girthy friend?
Yeah, every time I do my
one behind.
charge
I
two-handed.
fucking... I hitbox porned that real good.
Oh.
Okay.
Get wrecked, nerd.
Now that my controller has
My
reset.
headcanon is that FromSoftware already had this enemy normally, but then when they realized they were going to kill Alexander, they specifically gave him the most like upsettingly violent death possible, and then backported that to the rest of the enemy type. They just did it out of just to make that a weirdly like black, like dark comedy weird death for the entirely sympathetic character.
Have you done...
It's
We
so
just- we might as
jarring
well
that he just fucking explodes.
Have
From
you...
here, we might as well just get this item and then warp back.
Yeah. Oh,
Here
Carrion
we go.
Grander.
Yeah,
That is
Carrion
also
Grander.
what
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
for this anyway. Okay. Manor upper level. Annoying. The
I like
go on.
that
sorry.
you know what's inside of them, and it's not fun.
Yeah, the jails in the DLC are really fucked up and sad and messed up and depressing and crazy and weird. And it's
Cool as hell.
Yeah, it's very
I love it.
very depressing.
I love like meeting the ghosts. Like, please don't put me back in the pot. Like,
Yeah,
oh no.
don't-
like, oh no.
My favorite
Yeah.
part is when you have to platform down the pots, and the last one is just.
Oh, I'm about to get fucked up by that wolf.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's also clearly something going on with the appearance of all of the pot stuffers.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the things that walk out of the pots. It's not great.
Yeah, like I looked at those and I'm like, I haven't memorized all of the demigods and other characters, but that sure seems like it's one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get the tree yet.
There's things to say about
go.
them. That is very
They're gross,
interesting.
hideous, disgusting. I hope they're never gonna come near me again, please. They're terrifying.
Those dogs have a lot of health. Oh god.
It turns out that like ethnically cleansing people by stuffing them into jars because their skin is really supple is like maybe not a good thing to do. Like maybe bad actually. Like and
I think this is...
burial rites being appropriated for warfare is also really messed up and sad and depressing and fucked up, and like creates a history of violence that's not very good. Oh, I just tried to parry him stupidly by accident. Let me do this.
Have you
Get him, illusory.
It might be ethnic cleansing, but
Yeah.
afterwards
That's
you can
what's
carry one more fairy, so
Mm,
like give and take.
I mean, it depends. Just don't ethnically cleanse the fairies, I guess.
But what if they're really delicious?
I'm the most boring Zelda player because I never
I
put
think
anything else
Futurama
in
did an
my-
episode
in my-
about this.
I never put anything else in my my jars. I just fill the bottles. I only put fairies in them.
yeah, that's what they're for. Is for fairies.
They give you like a bunch of crazy potions and stuff, and I'm like, nah, fairies. Gotta save
I
up
don't
all
think
these
I-
fairies
yeah.
so that I get more get out of jail free cards when the
Ah.
bosses kick my
Buzzer.
ass as I'm trying to figure out what item works
Sorry.
on them.
Illusory, is Pydia this way still? Do we still have to
Yeah.
redo this
we have
part?
To do the we have to do the boss first.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, it's after the boss?
It's after
Yeah,
the
it's-
boss. That's why I always feel a little like iffy about the level design, because there's a bunch of ways to drop down. It's like, oh cool, there's an item here. Oh, drop down to do this, and then it's like you beat the level. Oh, drop down again, and they don't give you a ladder. Like, it's like, what were they thinking?
Oh, I don't know if I can actually parry her because she's a ghost, and her moveset doesn't seem too hard. Let's see.
Is this the fake ghost version of the one from elsewhere, or are they different
Yes,
characters?
they are the same character.
Yes.
She has the Tree Sentinel moveset, so I should be able to parry this. Because I can do that parry.
She's the lady that's probably Albanara.
Yes.
I would like it if she probably bleeded.
Well, she is,
Ow.
having a bad time. Oh.
Yeah!
Nice bow.
Me specifically,
Yeah.
huh?
Loretta's great
Ow.
bow is
Oh, she phased
That's a
into
nice
the
spell.
wall. Now she's
Yeah, weird.
somewhere else.
She's
She's up
upstairs.
upstairs. Yeah,
She's
though.
upstairs.
She's sniping
Oh,
us.
what are you doing over there? Ow. Die, horse.
You don't
Oh,
know
I
why.
died? What the heck?
Oh!
Yeah.
How much
Oh,
stamina do you have, Ka? Your screen,
lot.
I'm looking at your stamina bar, and it's showing your stamina as, like, literally
Not
a...
that much.
It's
I'm looking at your
crazy.
screen now.
That's crazy.
Oh, she's behind me now. She worked behind me.
Yeah, she keeps teleporting back up here.
It's fine. Oh my
It's
god.
accurately showing the current amount of stamina I have.
It's
That's
very
funny.
goofy.
Oh!
I think she's rottable.
Probably not. But you can probably
not.
deal damage to her using it because it's dragon breath, but I don't think that she has rot.
Don't die, Andrew.
No, I'm fine.
I need you to take more hits from me.
I'm used to
Got it.
being hit in the face. Hey!
We did it!
Loretta's
We did it!
Loretta's
slash.
slash got buffed. It's a weird. Her weapon got buffed as well, I think, if I remember correctly. It's a really weird weapon now. It still feels like a really odd niche. It doesn't actually work correctly for the way that you would want to build it, but it is interesting.
Because I haven't played the game normally on PC and have just like hacked my way through the game and like teleported around the game just to get footage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I never remember like what I have or haven't done. I literally just got the trophy for Loretta, and I'm just like, that's very funny to me. I'm like,
That-
oh, cool! My first time defeating Loretta. Not really, of course, but on Steam.
Oh, right. Urumi doesn't
wait,
have
I
bleed.
can do-
That's weird, actually.
Yeah, you
Well, it
you set it as a bleed weapon to get
It's
the
really weird
best
that-
out of it.
That's really weird that the blade whip doesn't start off with bleed.
Yeah.
That seems like that would be the niche it fills by default, by as being the blade whip.
It is rare. It does fill an interesting and rare niche, which is that it is a weapon that scales better with bleed than it does other stats for the most part, which is really cool. I mean, obviously you can get to S dexterity, but it's not worth it for the DPS trade-off.
Chaz says, what makes a game a Souls-like? It's a game where when you get to a big slope at the very top, there's conspicuously an enemy standing there right behind a boulder. And then you go a little bit up the slope and the boulder rolls down at you and the enemy, because the enemy pushed it. Every time a game has that, it's a Souls-like.
My argument is Souls-likes are 3D Metroidvanias that have a action economy and a single resource that is used for both monetary bartering and level improvement.
Well,
So you think 2Ds that call themselves Souls-likes are liars?
Yes. I think that
They're pushing the definition a little bit. Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah.
kind of feel like a 3D action RPG of a certain style is the core of what a Souls-like is.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that.
whereas
But
like
not that if someone calls something a 2D Souls-like though, it's not going to be like.
I'm
ultra
just like,
pedantic.
until
Yeah.
Lies of P
Like I
happened.
kind of get what they're going for. Yeah.
In Lies of P, until Lies of P happened, I was saying that the best Souls-like was Salt and Sanctuary.
I tried to play that game a couple times and just like the visuals, like I couldn't like. I feel like that game hurt my
Yeah.
eyes.
I
I don't know, like I
Xbox
couldn't
Live
like.
Indie Arcade. Yeah.
I remember
already
just, like-
I was already
Yeah.
familiar with the developer from I made a game with zombies in it and Dishwasher Dead Samurai, so it was just more grunge,
Yeah.
the same grunge mill.
So we'll for questline safety, we'll not talk to any NPCs yet, but we could always do the first half of this dragon encounter.
yes, we could.
Oh, I forgot about this. Fucker.
This is a
So
really
anyway, I made the mistake
tough
of playing another
fight.
point into Arcane before realizing my weapon still doesn't have a stat yet. Whoops.
The
Dragon Nut here?
Adula. Oof.
Oh, there
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, I don't
Whatever.
think that
We got
2D
snared.
quote unquote Souls-likes are like egregiously evil for labeling themselves Souls-likes. I think that is more of an aesthetic and like design sensibility label than it is an actual label. It's like how people will be like, Call of Duty is a first-person shooter. Deus Ex is a first-person shooter. When it's like, well, yes, technically, but these are very different games. Like, they're a very different genre of video game.
You feel like it's a trapping rather than a genre.
Yeah, when the way that people use the term, for sure.
I hate this dragon so much.
But
what the fuck just happened?
He just freaks out constantly. It's really narrow boundaries.
Yeah, he'll teleport a lot.
I think the real key aspect of Souls design is that it is very metered with what resources you have.
Well, okay, what was that though? Wow. This is his zone. That was.
Yeah, I know. No, this dragon just sucks. He usually glitches out when I'm fighting him.
I'm gonna
it's like
switch
a bonus
weapons.
30% reason for why I'm so done with dragon fights in these games.
I think you're just jealous.
They don't work.
Dragons just have such good movesets.
Yeah, the real reason, the real thing is that, like, to some extent, akin to like saying the difference between an action adventure game and a game that is very clearly aping on Zelda, for example. It's like,
yep,
you kind of just get a long enough checklist of things that are similar that you're like, okay, yeah, this is being Souls specifically.
Yeah, I think
this
as
door
well.
does not open from this side, and a healing item that replenishes at checkpoints that also respawn the enemies and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a really important item that I can't remember if it's behind this tower or Saluvia's tower, a little bit further down the hill. So I'm gonna go investigate.
One of these towers has a very important item.
Correct. Okay, we might be on the same page.
It's over
the
here,
item I
think.
specifically looked up and came here to get right after I published the Beastars video.
It's wherever
Okay, I think it's Saluvia's tower. I think we have to go further down.
Yeah. It's where the Spirit Spring is.
But that was why I jokingly included the boulder example, because like games trying to be Dark Souls just would very directly like Neo just has the same boulder trap that Dark Souls has.
Yeah.
Which is distinctly different from boulders in video games as a concept. Like it's not the same thing.
Yeah. I
also like lost my mind arguing with Neo fanboys that were chafing at the idea of comparing it to Souls games when it was so obviously a Souls game, and they would cling so hard to the not entirely true narrative that it was in development for so many years that it came before Dark Souls, so it couldn't have taken inspiration from it. I'm like, that's not how game development works.
I also
clearly was not in like development that whole time in continuity. It clearly like gave up and started over several times.
I think we have to climb the wall. I thought it was behind the tower. Yeah, we gotta climb the wall.
My take is on, especially Neo specifically, is actually I think a really good example though. In that, I think Neo wears the aesthetics of a Souls game and steals some design ideas from a Souls game, but I do not actually think the game that Neo is shares design ideology with Souls, which is
because it's bad.
Well, yes, because it is bad, and that is why there has never been
Neo. I don't know Neo 2, and people say it's really good or whatever. Neo 1 is a very bad video game.
Yeah, Neo 1 is. Well, the thing is that when you look at what Neo is an action RPG, but when I say that, I mean that in the sense that the old term action RPG used to refer to, which is like Diablo 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is what Neo is.
And gameplay loop is built to be like Diablo 2 while having the sort of punishing aspect of like Souls games to an extent. So it's actually like a deeply annoying game because it wants you to farm, but in inane repetition, but it also wants you to think too much the whole time. So it's just exhausting to farm in.
Neo has
Once you fight your 7th copy of the first boss, and then you fight 2 of them at the same time after that, you're like, why have I not uninstalled this game? Why am I still giving this thing the benefit of the doubt that it was worth playing?
But
I was talking to some people this weekend who only play Elden Ring with the mod that adds Diablo-style itemization to it, and that sounded insane to me.
That makes me want to puke into my hands. That is very sad to hear. The thing with me with Neo is that like I don't like Neo. But I don't like Neo not because it's a bad Souls. Like I don't like Neo because I just don't really like games like it. But when you, I I think like this is actually a really good conversation for talking about like what genre is and how like taxonomy works. Is like you define a game's genealogical tree by looking at what its functions do and where those similarities make it similar to its progenitors. And like when you look at Nioh, it is true that it has a light attack and a heavy attack and a dodge. But all of the other design systems that create a Souls-like having one set resource or like not having skill trees and things like that are not in Nioh, to the point that it resembles a different genre, you know? So
I was driving my audience crazy when I was playing that game because they kept wanting me to use anything else besides just like a light and a heavy attack and so on. It's like, no, they don't serve a purpose. These wacky combos, they're just other variations of attacks. I just keep doing normal attacks the whole game.
Yeah.
Hey, guy.
The way that I think of Nioh is that it is like Diablo in that you pick a skill you want to use and you map that to your right click and then you just spam that attack.
Yeah.
That's what weapon arts in Nioh are like. You build for your Tonfa weapon art and then you just press L2 and that's how you win the game. And you do 758 million damage a hit. And that's how you play Nioh on Way of the Nioh. Like, because I've done it before. Like,
Your worship, allow me to be of use. Other than the puppets, there are some very fine things up here in this storeroom. Why not pick something out before you go? But please, can you offer poor ill-starred Pythia a little something by way of compensation?
the guy wants items. Larval tier. Carrion retaliation.
Yeah, good to buy that larval tier for
The
respect.
Ripple Blade. That's such a cool looking weapon.
All right. Black leather shield. This is a cool shield. I think I have everything I need here.
Looking at the Ripple Blade, I'm surprised it's not a catalyst.
It is an arcane scaling axe. It's weird.
Yeah, why there isn't a ladder at the end of this walkway
It's-
like up here?
it's-
It's just it's so weird. It is so weird. I don't get it. Like
Yeah, there should be one right here, like right at
Just the
this
fact
spot.
that you can't kick one down to be able to get back up here.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, it's very bad.
Because it makes you wonder how he is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
the
dropped
most
off the
part.
cliff.
Yeah, that's why he can't. That's why he's not standing up.
Yeah.